Hi, I got a question for you. Are you dreaming of a perfect home in a family-friendly neighborhood with top schools, beautiful parks, and close amenities to anything you might need? If so, stay tuned because we're diving into West Pasco. I get asked about it a lot, and the new development that's going on there is what I'm going to focus on today. So if you think that that might be up your alley, then stick around. Thanks for joining me on my channel that's dedicated to living in the Tri-Cities, Washington. I'm Kayla Corbin with eXp Realty. And if you are interested in exploring this neck of the woods with me, and I'm talking about housing, neighborhoods, communities, recreation, education, what have you, please subscribe below and don't forget to tap the bell so that you get notifications when there's a new video release. And if you're thinking about moving here in the next month or even year, reach out. Let me be your boots on the ground. I would be delighted to help you make a smooth move to the Tri-Cities. And in fact, with that being said, at this video I produced for Mike and Michelle, who reached out to me and are considering moving their family here to the Tri-Cities. And they did like the idea of, they asked about West Pasco. And so I started looking into it. They also shared with me they might be interested in building a new home. Now, of course, with small kids or children, they are interested in schools as well. And I always refer people to do your own homework on the school. I'll tell you where they are. We do have good schools here, but please do your own homework on that. Let's get started. First thing I want to do is start with the relativity of the Google map, like I always do. So you kind of have an idea of where the towns are to each other, and then also where we're talking about specifically in the development, the neighborhood that we're in. So let's go to our map here. And I've got it detailed out, and I hope we've got our Pasco over here, and then we have Kennewick down here. You can't really see it. I've got it dragged out too much, but Kennewick's over here, and then Richland is over here. So here's our little highway system or freeway system that gets us around, and we can go either way. It's usually kind of sixes is what people say, which direction you want to go. Like, let's say if you start here and you're going here or what have you. You could probably tell by all the yellow dots up here that I'm going to talk up in this region, but yet it says West Pasco down here. Well, it's kind of commonly known in the Tri-City area that anything west of 395, and that is, I'm supposed to be annotating, and I always forget to do this, anything west of 395 is considered West Pasco. So that's a huge area. I'm sure that at some point as we keep growing north, that will come up with a new title itself. But so we're not going to talk about West Pasco. We're going to look at this area specifically right here. And what made me really pretty much look at the homes right here specifically in this area is the fact that that's where most of the new build is in the Tri-Cities. And I wanted to be specifically in an area that there's coupled a lot of different neighborhoods, builders, price ranges and whatnot. You're going to be really surprised what I found. This is going to be a lot of fun. So since we're talking about houses right now, what I want to do, go into another map and show you from there. All right, here we go. I've overlaid another map, and this came out of MLS as I was looking at where new homes are being built and what has been sold in the last 90 days. I figure it's all pertinent. We've got a lot of homes moving up here. These little dots represent how many homes are for sale there. Now, mind you, once again, these are brand new homes. They're not have been lived in homes. These are homes that you have the opportunity to go in and design the materials and the colors and even sometimes the layout. It depends on the builder. It depends on what point of the build process that you come in and get into it. A lot of factors there. Something I can totally help you with if you are looking at purchasing. So there's some interesting things about this, Mike and Michelle, that I think you'll be really pleased with in this area is all of these homes in here they range in price from $369,000 to $1.38 million. So you got a lot of opportunity and a lot of spread right there to choose what price of point of home that you want to live in. There are 150 homes in my bucket of sold pending, and active. And of those, 14 are greater than $900,000. So that would be your 900 to 1.38 million. And then 60 are between 500,000 and 900,000. That's a pretty good number, but that leaves a whopping 76 homes that were available from 369 to 500,000. That's quite a bit. I would say that we're pretty affordable for most everybody in this area to have a brand new home. You just have to have the time. That's something else we should talk about. You have build times relative to your move as a consideration. Like if sometimes you might not, the home might not be ready and you've moved here for a month and you need to find temporary accommodations, which if it's a hotel, not going to be a problem. If it's longer and you want to side rent a house, that could be a little more of an issue, but that, again, something that I can help you with. One other thing too is if you're going to have a home built and you're not here, you do need eyes on the project. And fortunately, when you work with me, I actually am certified in residential construction for new home build. And I don't build them. I just help people to design them and go through the phases of what they are. And I've also done it several times. One last consideration, and I was looking for it when I went through the MLS today, is this potential for an HOA dues. Now, I found some that have some HOA dues, but definitely something that you want to consider, that and always tax ranges and all that good stuff. But to find out if the home is going to have HOA or not. I found a good number of them that aren't part of an HOA. And I know that for a lot of people, that's really important. All right, so here we are back at the Google map so that I can start showing you some roads and whatnot. And now that you know where I'm showing you homes for sale, you can see that it's going to be in this area. So with that, then we can talk about relativity to your amenities, schools, even access to the freeway. Super good access to the freeway here. And I'm going to give you some terms as well about living up here. So Road 68 is super popular, and that's Road 68 right here. And we'll revisit that because that's where you're going to find many of your amenities. Although a trip into Richland is really easy, as well as Kennewick from here. So that's going to be your access point to 182. And then Road 100 right here is very popular. And then we have Burns up here, right here. So when we refer to Broadmoor or Burns, that's basically we're talking about in West Pasco. Another thing, this is really fun, but so we're right, this is the area that we're in right here, right? And it looks like a lot of farm fields because we're starting to grow up into the farm fields and whatnot. And then you have this patch right here that's all flattened and dry and deserted looking. There's a huge apartment complex there now, and it's brand new. And then on the corner is also a gas station and a convenience store, and just all sorts of like morning amenities are right here for you. This is the Affinity at Broadmoor. This shows dirt. Well, it is built up like that now. It more or less looks like that. Now your schools are going to be right here. So the schools are brand new, and Sageview, which is the high school, is not even scheduled to be done until fall of 25. So that's of this year. But that school, they had to build it because they're growing out of the seams. And in fact, Chiawana High School is the largest school in the state of Washington, with Pasco High School being number 6. So the new high school is helping to accommodate the overcrowding that we already have in existing schools, plus provide a space for 2,000 new students. It's also a school that, like both Chiawana and Pasco, is going to offer some special programs in career and technology. It's going to be a good school. So that's our schools. And the next thing I want to point out is the park. So we've got Vintage Park here, which is going to be, as you can see, fairly close. And I'm sure these are what I found on the map. There's other parks around the area, but let's take this down. And I want to show you Chiawana Park. Chiawana is actually going to be pretty convenient. It's a nice park. It's actually a place where you can, they have kids' toys or kids' jungle gyms, and it's got pretty good place for your boats. It's got 2 ramps, and that's a place that we take off on the boat. Then over here, there's you can go across the way, and at Columbia Marine, you can also dip in there. Now, I'm only showing you a couple that are close to where you would be relative to living up here in this area that we're talking about. So I'm going to bring it in a little bit, and let's talk about the access to your amenities. coming down this road here, which is going to be Burns, will bring us into Road 68. About here is where it all starts with Road 68 in terms of restaurants and shopping and all of that good stuff. These are apartments right here. And those are actually, I had a call today from one of my viewers, and he was looking for apartments that might be maybe need subsidy. And so that would be one that would be of consideration for him. Anyway, come down here and you've got a nice shopping area here. You've got your grocery outlet. There's quite a few like stores in there, Doghouse Beer Garden and whatnot. But what I want to point out to you is my favorite places, because I do like to come up here and shop. It is kind of fun. I used to actually work out of a real estate agency up here. But let's keep coming down, go by Wrigley, and there's your Starbucks. There's a Verizon up here. Hacienda del Sol is great Mexican food. And I got to tell you, we have the culture of Hispanic around here. So we have a lot of good Mexican food, but I really like Hacienda del Sol. It is a fun place to meet with people, and their food is wonderful. Then come back down a little further. As you can see, there's credit unions and all sorts of good things. You have Yolks here, which is our high-end grocery market. Not everybody thinks like that, but then across the street you have Walmart. So you've got options all around. And I did mention the grocery outlet, which is, I guess, in a way, maybe like our Trader Joe's. Excuse me if that's going to offend anybody, but we don't have a Trader Joe's in the Tri-Cities, but the fun thing about grocery outlet is it's different food all the time, and it's unique, and it's just fun to shop there. And typically it's not overly expensive. So you kind of get to explore different foods. All right, one last thing I believe that I want to point out is over here, which is going to be Proof Kitchen and Bar. That's a fun place. I love this picture. They're just so outdated, these, and but that's okay. I get to drive by and actually see what's there, because actually Proof Bar has been up and running for a couple of years, and the picture there still shows it as opening soon. And it is a nice bar. It's kind of more high end, and they've got tapas plates and good beer and all that good stuff, right? So there we go with that. I just want to again reaffirm that if you do want to purchase a home, a new build home, you still want to have buyer representation, so that because it's a complicated contract, and it will feel like it's not all, it'll feel one-sided, and it won't be your side. So anyway, do have that leadership in going through those contracts, because they are legal and binding documents. All right, time for our fun fact. I always love this part. I was kind of looking at, well, where did Pasco history come from? And I sort of knew it, but I wanted to reamp myself with it. So basically, this area started out in 1879 when the railroad was being built through here. Northern Pacific Railroad built a little town up so that the workers would have a place to be, and it built into the saloons, a train depot. There were hotels and restaurants, and of course lots of people, because at some point there was 8,000 people in this town of Ainsworth. Well, when the railroad was finished, within 5 years of it finishing, people started to migrate out. It was apparently very prone to flooding, so it kind of pushed people out. What they did is they dismantled the town and moved it down here to Pasco. And this is where Pasco got its start. So Ainsworth is now a ghost town. Woohoo! So in my research, I even took the coordinates of it so that I can go out there one day with my metal detector and see what kind of treats I can find. But I'm not sure that's always, well, I'll have to look. Anyway, that was my fun fact. I hope this was helpful to you, Mike and Michelle. I've had a lot of fun doing it, and I'll reach out for our next steps. For others viewing, thanks for taking the time to watch the video with us. And whether you're dreaming of a new home or just exploring options, remember, there's a place here for everyone. If you have questions or want to learn more about a specific neighborhood, please reach out. I'm here to help you find the perfect place in the Tri-Cities too. Just give me a call or shoot me an email. Don't forget to like, subscribe, or let others know about this channel if they're anybody interested in moving to Eastern Washington area. And once again, thanks for joining me to the end of this video, and I'll see you the next time.